Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to Lady K Chat, a podcast that is designed for men and women to become better versions of themselves, which is broadcast every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Various subjects will be spoken upon, such as relationships, health and wellness, personal development, wealth building, children, and so much more. She is a two-time Amazon best-selling author, an international speaker, and life coach. She is Lady K. And now for your host, Lady K.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lady K Chat podcast. This is the first Tuesday in April, and oh my gosh, you guys, you seen I came available. I am ready for spring. I am over Corona. I don't even know her name, but I am so excited because you know why? Because in this month of April, we're going to talk business, and today I'm specifically are going to talk about businesswomen in the dating scene. It is so challenging for us. I think we are misunderstood. I think sometimes men feel like, we overpower them, but that's not how we're trying to come. So today I have a beautiful Aleisha Hunter, who I love to call the crypto queen. And today we're going to have conversations about this. So welcome, Aleisha.
Hi there. Welcome. Well, thank you. My bad, but thank you for inviting me, Kalima. How are you doing?
I am doing good. I'm thanking you. So here, look, so we have business so much on the mind. You're like, welcome to this call. Right? Yes, because this is what we do on a daily basis.
Girl, you caught me on that. Like, welcome. Like, hold on. I'm the one that's being the guest. Okay, I get it.
Oh my God, but you see, that's the problem, Aleisha. Sometimes we're not used to the one being in the other seat because we're so busy driving, because we have to steer to our dreams, steer to our goals. And it's because we are driven women. I tell you this, Aleisha, I love your tenacity. Okay. And I just feed off women like you because, I want to be around like-minded women. But the thing about us, we're still young and we still have life, Aleisha. So it's like, oh my gosh, is there still room for us in the dating scene? There's so many challenges that it comes with. Aleisha, I have a question for you. Yes. What do you think your number one challenge is, while dating as a businesswoman?
Oh, wow. I haven't dated in going on almost 5 years, but while I was in my relationship before, actually I was in 2 different relationships operating a business, and the most challenging thing that I faced was the support. The first relationship, he was very supportive, was always there, built my website. He was like, go, go, go. He was my cheerleader. Right. But the other relationship that I experienced was, my marriage. It was like, it's all about me. And it's like, okay, can I get some support right now? Because this is something that I want to build for us. And if you want to be a part of it, I would love for you to be a part of it. And so I think that would be my biggest challenge, was not receiving the support that I needed.
Right. And I can definitely co-sign to that because before I got into my relationship, I was experiencing that. But Aleisha, you said something profound. You were saying that, you had one that was your biggest cheerleader, and then the other one was all about me. I hear a lot of women talking about that, but I also come to find out too, the guy sometimes that says, I support you. I think at times our overdrive might be intimidating for them because in the beginning it's all good, because that was one of my experiences, and I'm just speaking from experience. It was all good. Yes, I love that she has drive, she's doing this, but then it goes back to, well, you're always busy. But it's like at the same time, so you heard that expression that tells you, well, do you either want a busy man or a broke man? So it's the same thing to women. Do you want a broke sister, or do you want that's out there chasing her dreams?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes, that's a good one, right? I like that.
Yeah, so like I said, I came to find the challenges with the one who said I'll support you, but it's like I do, but it's on my time. It doesn't work that way. And when business calls now, but I understand too, you have to have a balance in your life, because we want I think this is for me. I'm gonna speak for myself. I think sometimes when we're out there in the busy world and we're out there fighting, right, and then we come home to our spouse, I think we know we do want to unwind, but sometimes when you don't feel your significant other is doing their part or stepping like keyword like you want them to, because sometimes we do that. It's like then it takes over, and I think that's one of many challenges I think many business women face. They feel like they're out there, they're doing them, and then when they come home, they gotta do the same thing. It's exhausting.
Yes, it is. And so one thing I do want to state is, as far as my experience, about me saying that the other guy was supportive and the other one was all about me.
Right.
I think it's because of the one that was supportive. He was a business-minded man. That was the difference. The
Mm.
other one was more like me raising a little boy. So he wasn't, prepared for someone like me as a grown woman because he was younger than me. That's why I prefer older men, because of they're more mature than the younger men. That is my personal experience. So not all younger men are immature, but I'm just saying from my personal experience. However, what I've noticed is the other person, he was more like, okay, this is what you can do, and this can help you grow your business. He taught me a lot of things when it came
Mm.
to advertising, my business, marketing, wholesales, far as fashion. I didn't even know anything about it. But on the other side, it was like, well, I just want you to be barefoot and pregnant.
Right.
Okay, baby, it's 2021. Not too many women are barefoot and pregnant, darling.
Right.
So that's what I experienced. So yeah, I totally understand what you're saying.
But it's kind of funny though, this hearing from your experience is like you got the one who taught you. So now that you was taught and then this, like you said, this little boy come, he ain't ready for you. It's like, I don't want that. And I feel sometimes when we get a dose of that, of a man that's on our level, then we cut ties with, okay, I can recognize your game. You're not about that life. You act like you are because you got to remember people can fake it, but it's only for so long. You won't forget your role, and then the real you come out. You know what I'm trying to say? Have you ever experienced that before, Aleisha?
Yes, I have. Like say for an example, you're so used to going to fine dining and say this guy wanted to take you out to Houston or something, or say Capitol Grill, but then you meet this other person, they want to take you to McDonald's. It's like, no, I'm better than
Right.
that. And so we experience a lot of challenges in our life, but far as balancing it, that's where it comes in. You have to balance your life for as the entrepreneurship lifestyle and the personal lifestyle.
Right.
Years ago, I used to post, I forgot what I used to post. I think it was like hashtag business life and personal life. And I will explain the difference of how to maintain your business, how to maintain your personal life. So that way people don't take it personally when it comes to business. And then also, you have to communicate, because if you're
Absolutely.
not communicating, then what is the point of you trying to move forward with this relationship? And so my advice for majority of the men is try to talk to that woman, try to understand her, and vice versa, because sometimes women can be very stubborn. I know that we are very
Yes.
stubborn. And
Yes.
so that's where it starts. Communication is key. You have to balance yourself. You have to be supportive. So those are like very, very, very important when it comes to building a business.
Absolutely. And I'm so happy that you said that because, yes, I'm sure there are some ladies tuning in, co-signing well, like, yes, girl, yes, girl. But guess what, ladies? If you want to get through to your man, or you might know someone who needs this information, let them watch this because men, we're talking to you. We're telling you what we need. We're telling you what we want. And if you like this information, drop this in the comment. Tell us this is some good stuff because I think so far it is. You want to have a successful relationship with a businesswoman, then take heed to these two fabulous businesswomen who are doing the thing because guess what? It can get exhausting. It really can get exhausted. And so we really need that supportive spouse. And I understand, like you said, to have that balance. But then there are going to come the times where, work might be more precedence the personal sometimes, and that's only in for a season. So I want to talk about the season. When you see that your woman is in a season of she's going to her next level, don't pick a fight with her. She doesn't need that. That's going to even make her more frustrated. Just know that you have to see it like this, because y'all men don't, because y'all be in that me, and what about me role. She didn't forget about you, baby. But guess what? You know what she says? Especially if this is a scenario, because sometimes this is the scenario. She is the business, the go-getter, and you still got your 9 to 5. But guess what? She need that support because you have a consistent income while she's up there trying to say, hey, let me get my income in, and then once we double this, baby, you ain't got to work so hard. Won't you guys look at it from that perspective, especially if she knows that there's a we and y'all really going to do it and you're really in it for the long run. She would run that race, but she needs your support. She don't need you criticizing her. She don't need you making her feel worse, because please believe me, especially, and I know Aleisha, you can attest to this, if she is a mother and she's outside of the home a lot, we already feel bad that we're away from our kids. So of course we feel bad that we're away from our man.
Yes, absolutely. And so I'm glad that you mentioned something about the financial support, because of what I've experienced with that is, every time I needed something, I had the finances really quick from that man. I did. And it was like, anything I want, okay, babe, just go ahead. It's in the account. Go ahead and get it. He never asked any questions because he trusts my decision. Right. But, just by looking on the other side, it's like, well, when are you going to start making some money and stuff? And you said this and you said that. And it's like, come on, it takes time for a business to grow. Right. So if you're out there bringing in the money and you're supporting her financially, trust me, that business is going to start booming, because women, we can do like 20 things at the same time. Men cannot do that. And so we can be cleaning and cooking on the phone, closing out a call, and dealing with the kids. But the men is like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. And so that's that right there really nailed it about the finances. And then also going with the children. My biggest issue were with my marriage. My ex-husband, he did not really want to attend to the children because he felt like, since they were not his biological children, he didn't need to babysit, watch them while I go to meetings and stuff. There was time he will leave the house so that way I wouldn't have a babysitter. I remember, for an example, I had like a huge meeting to where that I could have made $2,000 the very next day if I would have closed that deal. And he left the children. And I'm like, wow. So I was so hurt because I wanted that to come into our household. I never told him about this, so I hope he's watching this. But yes, I never told him about the $2,000. I never said anything. I just kept it to myself. But that right there hurt me because it made me look bad as a business partner, because I had to cancel the meeting. And then when I tried to reschedule, guess what? They didn't even want to have anything to do with me. So I missed out on an amazing opportunity. I lost out on amazing business partners. And so that's why it's just so hard to operate a business while you have children. Right. And you have someone that is just focusing on themselves because they want their, special needs. And you already know what I'm talking about. And so those were my, experiences. So it's like the pros and the cons, when it comes to operating a business while you're in a relationship.
Right, but here's the thing too. See, we're getting better at this, please believe me. But when you are dating a boy man, once you get a taste of that boy man, I kid you not, and you leave it, you never go back. Because it's like, I'll be damned if I'm raising another child. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you didn't even tell him what the outcome was going to be. But it's because how he showed himself, you didn't need to, because it just showed you it wasn't us, it was me. So again, men want to know why. Oh, sometimes you are so beautiful. You got it going on. Why are you single? This is why we're single, because of the stuff that we go through. In the beginning, it's all good. Oh yeah, she looks good. She smells good. But in the moment when we say, hey, babe, I got to cancel, it's, oh, Is it another man? It's like, really? You gonna let your insecurities come in right now? This is not the time. But like you said, Aleisha, when as you was talking, you was sharing your story, you was in a season where you had an unstable man. See
Mm-hmm.
how I'm talking about season where now, oh my gosh, you're flourishing because you're at the place and space where you need to be, and you don't need no one interrupting that flow. If anything, he needs to say, how can I be an addition to her?
Yeah, that's a great question because I had to ask myself that, like, are you bringing value to my life or are you just
Right.
taking from me? Because with that, I was basically used as an opportunist because of my background. I had my own talent agency, I had connections, and it was like, okay, well, I want to marry you. It was like all of a sudden I just want to marry you really quick. And then once the marriage was there, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, when are you going to put me on TV? Like, when are you going to do this? And so I've caught on to it. And, that's why I've been to myself for all these years. And I'm not saying that I'm taking out on other men. It's like now that I'm older and experiences that I experience now, I can read between the lines,
Absolutely.
like you have to pay attention to the keywords. You have to pay attention to their spirit. You have to pay attention to the message that you are receiving. Don't be fooled because he's giving you great sex, lady, because you can get
Woo.
that from anybody else and just keep it moving.
Right.
So that's where I come in at. But when it came to me becoming independent, which a lot of men do not like, and the real reason why women are so independent because they have no choice to become independent. And it's because of, I'm not saying all men, but I'm speaking to the ones that are the little boys, but grown men, I salute to you because I love you. However, the little boys, I'm talking to you. Now, you cannot just sit here and think the woman is going to be your mother. She
Woo.
is not going to be your slave. She is not going to be your porn star. She's not going to be your chef. I mean, yes, she can be that person that you want. However, it's all about stepping up and be a man and respecting her as well as uplifting her. And just like how you were saying that, sometimes we got to kind of tone it down and balance everything. Well, that's where the men have to understand, okay, yeah, she had a rough day. She's probably angry because somebody made her mad. Let me run her bath water real quick.
Oh,
Let me pour a glass of wine or something. Let me go cook her something. Let me tuck the kids in bed. And guess what? Voila, you got the best thing coming later on that night.
right. And I love how you said that, Aleisha, because what a lot of men don't realize, in order for us to get to that place, we need intimacy. Intimacy is not
Yes.
just bringing me in the bedroom, it's what you do before you bring her to that place. Because so many
Thank
guys, they just
you.
want to, and it's like, but when you're a man and you study your woman, I think that's the most sexiest thing a man can do when you study your woman, and then you know the different. Oh, that's that angry where she don't want to be bothered, or that's the angry,
Right.
like you just said, let me run that backwards, or that's the angry, let me rub her feet, that's that angry, oh,
Yes.
let me send the kids to mommy house. You know what I'm saying? This is
You.
what we need you to keep that. But guess what too, we're going to give our part, please believe me. Please, we will give our 100%, but you just got to be patient with us, be bearing with us, because again, it takes two. It's not one-sided in a relationship. So Aleisha, so I know we talked a little bit about the good guys. We're going to talk a little about these phobos, because we need to be aware of these phobos. And for the ones who don't know, these are the men who fake to be in a relationship and they just want to mooch off of you. They sell you false dreams. And then they also got other hidden agendas. And Alicia's going to tell us about a hidden agenda that she discovered messing with one.
Girl.
It's crazy. It's like, yo, you be like, oh, he's so fine. That's another thing too. Ladies, sometimes stop looking with your physical eyes and start looking at those spiritual eyes. Like Aleisha said, you gotta see if it's lining up. If something is off, please. But sometimes these phobos are so good. But like I said in the beginning, they can only pretend for so long. But they are
Mm-hmm.
out there and they're mooching. They say, oh yeah, like you said, Aleisha, oh, she's a go-getter. Oh yeah, she's gonna accomplish this. I ain't gotta do much. But see, this is where they go wrong. I ain't gotta do much, but then just laid the pipe. But when the pipe is not is after that, it's like, well, what else are you gonna give me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I need substance.
Mm-hmm.
Playing the pipe, that playing the pipe don't do nothing. Am I right, Aleisha?
Right. That's right. That's right. See, I would say if a man would have caught me in my younger years, yeah, he would have got me. However, not really, because of I've always surrounded myself around successful men and, you know, great men that always taught me about what I need to look into as far as a man. Then also I had a great father, you know, I have uncles and everything that would lecture me. I have best friends as males, and I may get the male point of view on how to present myself as a woman. But you know, now me as an older woman, guys, do not take this, you know, out of, you know, of the concept. But what I've experienced was I played my cards right because I knew he was full of it. I knew he
Right.
was. And so, ladies, sometimes you have to pretend you don't know what's going on to get what you need
Yes.
to get from these fellas. Like, pretend you don't know what's going on. And then once it just pops up, you're like, oh, I've been knew about that.
Yo, oh my gosh,
Yes.
Aleisha, I have a story that I gotta tell that you just popped. I think I shared this a while ago, but this long story short, I went on this dating site, right? And there was this guy, I knew it kind of sounded good to be true, but like you said, I was in position. I fell back and I was just watching. For some reason, I just feel like I had to catch him in his lie. And I played that game until I did, and when I did, I exited and he had nothing to say. But the long story, the short version of it, I met this guy on I forgot what social media platform or one of those dating websites. Anyway, he was putting how he's a musician, how he's single, how he wants a wife one day, blah 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 blah. Right? He lived in Pennsylvania, but he also commute to Jersey a lot. Blah blah blah. Like I said, so every time I asked him, well, can I come over to your Pennsylvania apartment? Oh, I'm not going to be there. And then one time he was like, oh yeah, I'm going there tonight to sleep. I'm like, oh, I can come. I wasn't coming because it was late at night, but I just wanted to see his responses. Oh no, that's okay. It was always an issue. And then one day, just abruptly in 1 week, oh, I gave up my place in Pennsylvania and now I'm in Jersey staying with my sister. I'm like, oh, that was so interesting. So within 3 weeks that I met you, all of a sudden you just gave up the place? Nah, but it gets better than this. So, I live with my sister, but I'm working on getting my place. And I can't wait till you come over and yada yada yada. So I said, okay. So can I come over to that one? Oh, it's an excuse. See, if they're always giving an excuse of why you can't come over, 9 times out of 10 they're married. And guess what? He was a married man. He didn't know that I found out that he was married, but that's not where I caught him at. Where I caught him at is that he gave some fairy tale story about where he worked at, right? And I said, oh, a friend of mine needs X amount of stuff done, and then he gave me his private email. So in my mind, I'm like, why he give me his private email? Why he give me his work email? So I called the place and I said, do you have a person by this name working there? They said, no, we don't. And this place is like 2-3 hours away from his home. Long story short, I called him. I was like, remember I told you that friend I recommended? Yeah. And I said, well, they said they don't know who you are and they never heard of you. Oh, my boss. I said, uh-huh. Oh, babe, I'm gonna call you back. I ain't never heard from him again because I played my part because I knew something wasn't right, but I had to just take it all the way so I can prove something to myself that I trust myself. You see that, ladies? You got to trust yourself to know that your intuition is screaming at you and saying something ain't right with him. If it ain't right, leave him alone because 9 times out of 10, he married or he probably not the opposite of a hobo. He like men. I'm just being honest.
It can happen now. I dated one of those two girls.
Right. So, there's a lot of them out there, but we know how to weed them out. But Aleisha, I want to hear this crazy story that you experienced. You have to tell the audience your experience.
Yes. You know what? It's so hilarious because I do want to expose this because this person thought I was stupid. And so, just like I was saying before, like sometimes you have to pretend you don't know what's going on to get everything that you can out of this person. And let's just say I turn on my player's card again. And I used to be a player years ago, but now that I'm older, it's more like, okay, well, I'm ready to settle down. But he was more like reaching out to me and saying, you are beautiful, you are a go-getter, same thing you were just saying. And, I've always followed you. I've been following you for years ago. Now, remind you, somebody that does business with me already told me about him. I just never told him. Never. So I was like, okay. The same thing he said to her, he said the same thing to me. I said, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So I played my cards right. And out of the blue, girl, he started sending me money on Cash App. Girl, it wasn't like $50 here. It was like $600, $1,000. It was like big money. And you know, me dealing with the financial market, I'm gonna put that and invest into my future
I
because
hear
you want to
that.
see me money. That's up to you, baby.
Right.
So then it was like he took me out for my birthday. He did all types of stuff. You know, he just bought me a whole bunch of whatever clothes, anything you can think of, anything I wanted, like nailed down to my children. Like if my child needed something, he got it. It was
Right.
no problem. But it was like he was living a double life. However, his wife was in on it.
Ooh,
And I did not even know that.
the
Because
wife.
yes, this is how I found out. Because at first he was more like, yeah, you know what? The divorce is processed and everything. You know, I told him, hey, work on your divorce and, you know, maybe we can kind of transition. But right now, let's just keep it on the friends level and then we can kind of see where it goes from there. And so he just started telling his family members about me and
Oh.
everybody. And I was like, okay, well, maybe he is for sure. But I was like, but remember what old girl said, you know?
Right.
So I had to keep my eyes open. And everything was just going so smoothly until one day it's like his whole demeanor has changed. It was like he treated me as the most beautiful person in the world. I was the only girl in the world to like, I cannot stand you. But that's when, you know, wifey popped up and said, do you know my husband is sending you my money? I need for him to just cut this off and you need to send me all that money back. I said, baby girl, I'm not sending nothing back.
Right.
That was a gift.
You better go fight that with your husband.
Okay, because that don't have anything to do with me.
Right.
And she tried to call the cops on me and they came to my place and they was like, ma'am, there's nothing that we can do.
Wow.
It was a lot of stuff that went on. And then out of the blue, he cursed me out. He never cursed me out. Talking about, I love my wife and you need to accept that I'm leaving you. I was like, what are you talking about that you leaving me, baby? I said, I've already got 3 men in the back of my pocket that I've been communicating with. I said, the money that you've been sending me, I've been flipping it in the financial market. And also, you heard of such and such. He paused. I said, oh, yeah, by the way, old girl already told me about you. I been knew about this. I was just playing my role to see how far you go. But thank you for the money and thank you for your support. And I said, oh, by the way, such and such, which was his wife, because I don't want to mention no name. Right. So I said, good luck in the future because he's going to do this to the next person.
Right.
But the way how I was seeing is, I believe that both of them was on some scam because of, she told me on the phone that he always do this. Okay, so why are you still with him? Right. He always get women money and bring it to me. I don't understand why he never took your money and brought it to me. I said, baby girl, I'm a hustler. You're not gonna hustle me. So she was like, well, I don't know what you did. I was like, I'm not no fool. Right. I'm not about to give this man all my money and then you're going to get it. And so she was so pissed off because I would not give her the money back. But and she counted.
He gave you the money. That it's not like you took it or you stole it from her. It's him.
Counting it. Yeah.
Right.
Over $8,000, girl. Ooh. She was mad. Oh well.
I'll be mad too.
She'll be all right.
But you know, but see, this is part. We're gonna close this soon. But this is one thing that I do not understand. I don't understand that women, when they stay in these toxic relationship, knowing how he is, he's not going to change. If you didn't implement some changes in the beginning when you first met him, when you first started dating, or you didn't even bring certain things to his attention, you don't talk about it at all, but it's in your mind and you keep it record, baby, nothing is going to happen because all you're doing is hurting yourself because you're building up your memory on the stuff that he don't do because in his eyes you want him to, but this is who he are. This is who he is.
Yes, that's
this
true.
Is who he is, and now you are mad. Just recently, I was speaking to someone about this. She was like, and he told me, but this been me, and I said, but he's absolutely right. This has been him, and you accepted his behavior. And that's another thing
Yes.
too. Just giving hindsight to the ladies that want to date that's in business, because we are doing so great financially, or even just in the building stage. I want to say, when you go into the relationship part, you have to treat it just like as your business. If you don't want certain things in your business, you got to weed it out. So apply the same thing to your relationship. Don't just accept lump, because when you do that, you're going to get a bunch of cold.
Oh yes, that is so true. And
So true.
one of the biggest thing that I had went through with this experience, it was like he is attached to business women.
Mm,
And that's what he always say. I love a woman that has a business. I love that drive. But in the back of my head, I'm like, but you gotta understand, business women, they are on a whole new level. There
right.
are a lot of good women out there, but there are some women, some business women that can play you just like these men because they've been out there before. They've already experienced that before. There
Absolutely.
are some men that are coaching them and teaching them and say, hey, you don't want that guy to do this to you because they understand your potential. They don't want to ever see you fall down and see you get hurt. And
Right.
so for all the fellas, just be careful when you try to play games with a businesswoman, because 9 and 10, you're not going to win that game. You're not.
Right. I wish I knew her name. I can't think of it. It's at the tip of my tongue. But she is a reporter, and she's a well-known reporter. I gotta get her name. But long story short, she was engaged to this so-called priest, right? And
Mm-hmm.
when it was close to time for them for their wedding day to come up, she was getting calls about the wedding. And she was like, well, wait a minute, let me start doing a little investigation, because she said she let him handle everything. So the so-called place where she was saying that it was supposed to have a venue at, she called them. They never heard of no such a thing. The priest who was supposed to marry him, didn't have nothing on his schedule that he was supposed to marry them. So she continued,
Wow.
like you said, she continued to play her cards. She didn't let him know that she was on to him, but she was doing her stuff. And then one day she came and sat with him at the table. Of course he tried to deny it, but homegirl had her facts. So I'm saying all of this to you because you can be at the top of your game in business. And people like him, hobos like him, will try to come in and seep in. But again, it goes back to, you have to listen to the intuition. You got to listen to those little things before you do say I do, because you have to be careful. And I got to say one thing too, before you get married, prenup, prenup, prenup. With that
Thank
being
you.
said,
Yes.
with that being said, I am going to end it. Aleisha, do you have anything to say before we close this out?
Yes, guys, I just want to let you guys know this. I mean, even though we're off topic and subject, but I just want to let everybody know, get with Kalima now, because she is doing amazing things in the cryptocurrency market. She's not going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you. Okay, so please contact her now, because after her watching me and I kind of coach her through, and now she's seeing amazing results. I mean, girl, she making more money than me.
Hey,
So
I
I
don't
just
know
want
about that, guys, because I
girl,
learned it from the
I saw
crypto
that one trade
queen.
you had. I was like, wait a
Listen,
minute.
listen, guys. But here's the thing, right? I may not talk about it on the Lady K Chat podcast show, but guess what? I always tell you guys to visit our the Lady K Enterprises INC page, and I post all these different things about the cryptocurrency. So if you want to learn more, please go ahead, and you see up above where it says www.ladykenterprise.com. You can also go to our website. You can go to our Facebook page, and we share a plethora of information about the cryptocurrency industry. This is a time to invest. I ain't gonna say more. Just continue to follow us. We appreciate you at the Lady K Chat podcast here on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And everyone, I want to say thank you for joining me and Aleisha tonight. And I want to say, if you want to find additional information about Aleisha, her information is also on our Lady K Enterprise Incorporation page. So everybody have a great night, and we will see you next Tuesday.
All right, thank you.
Lady K.